school vocabulary. We've done videos in terms of things in a schoolyard and also supplies you need in school. But today we're going to talk about people who you typically find in school. So for today's lesson, I use people from the school I work at. And I would strongly encourage you, if possible, to take a little field trip around your school before ever starting this lesson. Go with your newcomers or whole class, and you could even tell your class we're going to take a little trip because we have some new students, and have them go to the library, the cafeteria, the office, and if possible, wave to the people who you've selected for today's lesson. Also, there are many more than 4 people who work here and support the students at the school. So you could do this for several days and have the students be exposed to the different people and what they do and their title. So here I put school, so it's gonna be like a web here. And I picked 4 people who are in our school. I picked Mrs. Rosa, our attendance clerk, Mr. Markel, our custodian, Mrs. Mendoza, our librarian, and Mrs. Haydari, our principal. And if you would like, if your students are truly coming in with no English, you might want to go ahead and Google in their language the word people, so they know that this is what you're focusing on. Now, if you've done a quick field trip around the school with your newcomer or general ed class, this lesson should be not new to them. I'm sure they didn't memorize everyone's names, but they should have some type of background knowledge in terms of what you're talking about. So here I put a paragraph. There are many people who work at our school, and I went ahead and I put the sentences with the people in the same type of sentence structure, so it's very repetitive. And as usual, you're going to want to write your paragraph. You're going to want to read it out loud with your finger focused on directionality, especially for students who they don't have the same directionality as us in terms of their home language. And then you're going to read it together. And then after a few times of reading it together, you're going to have them read this. And then they could go ahead and copy this paragraph. Okay, this is a day 2 example. You could keep this going. I'm taking the same people from day 1 and I'm writing their name. So then the kids will also have exposure to name, title, and pictures that represent what these people do, right? So here I put Mrs. Mendoza and I put her title, librarian. Pictures that represent what they do. I have a book, a computer, and I have a picture of her reading, right? You could have the students go ahead and help you fill this in. This would be also a great time to include some non-newcomer students, part of your classroom, that can help with this, right? And then you could do this for the different people you've introduced to the class. Now, every day, I would personally like to do 1 a day. So 1 day, 1 small paragraph. So then you would take this information and you'd write a paragraph with the student or students, newcomer students. Mrs. Mendoza is our librarian. So you would just substitute, Mr. Markel is our custodian. Mrs. Haydari is our principal. Whatever the sentence would be, you'd substitute it. She, and then you're gonna, using the pictures or using the kids' language skills, you're gonna go ahead and say what she does. If the student can only say book, you're gonna say, good, she reads us books. You're gonna create the English, the grammatically correct English sentence out of the words that they give you, right? She uses a computer. Here you're gonna see if they could come up with their own sentence if possible. If they can't, that's okay. She works in the library. So every day that you do this with different people, this would look kind of the same. He works in the cafeteria. She works in the office. You want to keep the same sentence structure over time. And they should all end with, we love Mrs. Mendoza. We love Mr. Markel. We love Mrs. Haydari. We love Ms. Rosa. We love Miss Sila. Whoever it is you're speaking of. Thank you so much.